Hey guys, welcome. This is the Afro Puff Girls podcast, where three urban naturalista blurs discuss, dissect, and fangirl over TV shows and movies, as well as books, music, and video games. This is Carolyn, your first host.
My name is Fancy Yams from the Bronx, your second co-host.
It's me, Jessica. Hi, guys.
Hi guys, is everyone having a good week?
It actually is going by really fast. I love this week.
It's been a slow, fast week for me.
It's been a good
It's
fast.
very painful. I'm glad the weekend is here.
And not only that, the weather's so nice.
It's all right.
It was 70 degrees Monday. It's more than all right.
I mean,
Yeah, that breeze Monday night was everything.
Not gonna lie. I'll give it that.
Yes, last week I was melting. Because Carolyn, remember we had plans for Sunday for the freaking Belgian
That's
National
right.
Belgian Beer Day. We didn't even call each other to cancel. We knew it was canceled.
Yeah, girl. You don't understand when I hit you guys up and I told you I melted on Saturday. I literally did melt. Like my AC stopped working and I stopped functioning. Like literally.
wow.
No. Yeah, we were supposed to go to this pub for this national because me and her, Carol and I, we love Belgian beer. And I was like,
shout out to Duvel.
oh, yes, Duvel. And I just opened my terrace door and I was like, oh, no.
It felt like the devil's
No.
breath was on you. Like that's how bad it was.
No, it was so bad. And cool fact that I just learned Whole Foods delivers beer, so that saved my life.
Yes, they do. Yeah,
Saved
girl.
my life.
Remember, I told you I ordered beer and
Yeah.
fruit. Literally, that's all I ordered was beer and fruit.
I ordered beer and pasta. You know, the pre-made pasta ravioli. Don't be laughing at me.
You gotta do what you gotta do in this heat. So one other thing I was doing this weekend during the heat was trying to finish up Dark.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we're on season 2, and that's what we left off last episode. So we're just going to delve in a little bit about the final episode and a little bit about the symbols and symbolism that you see in season 1 and season 2 of Dark. So I'm going to let Fancy Ams take it over.
So I'm just gonna hit like the main points, but since I was just gonna go like what was the shocking events, the stuff that just stuck out in the last episode, but you didn't see it.
That's
So
fine.
I'm going to talk just a little bit more about it.
Okay.
So I'll actually like read my actual notes verbatim. So it starts with 2053. And you see Elizabeth, older Elizabeth, she's digging up these like mementos from the ground. She has a box and she has you see her pull out her old fox hat and then her family pictures. And then you see her pulling out pictures with Noah, the same picture that he showed Charlotte with baby Charlotte. But then there's another picture with him and the mother. And the mother looks like a younger adult version of Elizabeth. So then, not fast forward, but I guess rewind. I don't know.
Right.
Same time. It's actually no fast forward, no rewind. Because
Same time, different year.
Yeah.
Right.
Same time, different year.
Wait.
In 1920.
I don't know.
You actually said that. You said that absolutely correctly. That's exactly
No.
what this show is about. It's literally like same time, different year.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Apparently, time's linear, whatever. So, 1921, you have Noah, you know, after he found you, if you remember from the other episode, he's pretty messed up of what he found off of was her face. Claudia, before he killed her. The notes that she had, the missing pages from the book that he wanted. So he confronts Adam, and, you know, Adam basically tells him, like, Elizabeth is Charlotte's mother. Like, that's what it is.
Just like that.
I mean, not just like that, but he basically confirmed it.
Noah was pissed, actually, because I didn't mention it, but he actually vowed to stop Adam because Adam knew where Charlotte was this whole time. Well, his Charlotte was this whole time. So he had vowed to stop Adam and save everybody, not just those in the bunker.
Right.
That's what he said. So...
yeah.
Adam just be looking at everybody like, yeah, bitch.
But can we
Okay.
let that marinate that Elizabeth is Charlotte's mother? And Charlotte is Elizabeth's mother.
That was literally mind blowing.
If that ain't bootstrap, I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
The whole time I was like, "Oh, Jonas is her dad." Yeah, I know, that. And I literally watch it, and I'm like, "Oh, this shut me up. It shut me up."
Complete turn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I was looking at the picture when she pulled it out, and I was like, "Why that kind of looks like." And then logic tells you, well, that obviously can't be her.
No, right. She basically gave birth to herself.
She brought herself into this world.
Mm-hmm. And she take her own self out. Mm-hmm.
It was like reminds me the oldest debate of all time, if the egg
what came first, the chicken or the egg?
That is exactly what it is. We don't know.
Chicken. In this case.
Yeah, we don't know.
The chicken came first.
Well, Elizabeth is the egg, and then her daughter is Charlotte.
Yeah, but Charlotte wouldn't have been here if it wasn't for the chicken. Elizabeth.
See,
this is bananas.
I was like, you see, that's
it's a whole circle.
Yeah, it's a whole loop.
I'm like, somebody help me. Help me, please. Help me.
So I'm going to skip to 2020. Yeah, 2020. I was like, 2020. Older Jonas. When I mean older Jonas, the adult Jonas.
Traveler Jonas.
There you go. He tries to save, he's hell-bent on saving Martha. And he's trying to get her into Helge's bunker. And a dumb hoe.
Can I just mention that he's being a total creep about it?
He is.
This is definitely, I don't know if you watch Game of Thrones, but it's definitely a Jon Snow, Daenerys situation. And it's just stop, okay?
Wait,
and he's older.
Oh yeah, being with her, it's disgusting.
He really loves her.
It's flipped. It's he's Daenerys in this situation.
Oh, that he doesn't care about it.
Yeah. It's really nasty.
Martha don't care about it either.
But Martha,
she wants young Jonas.
But
she's fiending for young Jonas.
But the thing is, Jonas kind of did not an Inception thing, but it reminds me of Inception. He just put it out there. I feel like he's the one that put the romance into motion.
She was already in love with her.
No, she was,
but I get what you mean.
It known. Yeah. He's the one that's oh, we're perfect for each other. Why would you tell that girl that?
Yeah, I was
disgusting.
But at that time, to give him some type of credit, he probably thought that none of that would have mattered anyway.
Right.
But it's still you messing with time. You don't know what you about to do.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all about to come out with your baby's about to come out with 5 arms.
She's your
webbed toes.
That's your aunt, and she's taller than you.
Third
let
eye.
It go. A third eye
on the butt cheek or some shit. I don't know.
I'm don't sit.
Don't worry, I don't use that eye. I don't use it. Stupid. Oh my god.
But yeah, he's hell bent on getting her safe into the bunker, because he was saying I don't want you dying again. So obviously he saw her in the last cycle or whatever where she died. So he even forced her in gunpoint to get into the bunker.
Mm-hmm.
And in the meanwhile, while he locks her into the bunker or whatever, Peter and young Elizabeth, they go into the bunker, and I think that's when she goes out, right? Because when she opens it, because he locked it, so when she opens it, she runs out like an idiot.
There was some weird thing, because I don't know, everything that's happening at that time is that's when it's going down. Basically, the apocalypse is starting. Yeah, so that's why he's running with Elizabeth.
It's basically within that.
Okay.
That was a few hours. Yeah, that's the day of. Sorry to mention that. And so, so she runs out of the bunker for God knows what reason. But anyway, I'll get back to that. Let me get to Clausen real quick. Clausen is he is hype that he got this warrant
for the plant.
Oh, he is happy. You cannot rain on his parade. He's too hyped. So he's going to the plant. Everything's set in motion right now. He wants to, if you recall, in one of the episodes, Alexander had poured cement into the tank with all the chemical waste bins.
Yeah.
Right.
And he wants to drill through that for some reason.
Oh my gosh.
It's weird because the guy's trying to bring him into he's trying to walk him past the door. He's like, oh, they stopped, and he's like, what's behind here? And he's like, oh, nothing. And Clausen, I don't know if he's psychic or what, But he's like, I'm gonna go in here. You hiding something.
Yeah.
He's like, oh yeah. He's like, what was in here? There's nothing in the room. It's literally just an empty room. Yeah. And he's like, what was in here? He's like, oh, this is where we, they just cemented it off he said for some reason. And he's like, open it. I'm like, bruh, like.
It's closed for a reason.
I feel like he, for some reason, thinks that, in my mind, what I was thinking, it's that he believes that his brother's body is there or something, because I just don't understand why he wants to, like, because he thinks he's hiding something, but it's like, really, we're gonna be hiding like a 33-year-old corpse? Like, calm down.
I don't know, but I think with him, he also knows that, because he's spoken to almost everybody that's involved, and he realized that everybody is hiding something.
Yeah, it's a town full of
and it's just like, he's like, you know what? I'm glad I came here. Like, I'm gonna find what happened to my brother, and I'm gonna find some other shit out, because this town is motherfucking crazy. Right. So he smirking left and right, like, oh, I don't know what y'all going on in here, but I'm gonna watch out. I'm gonna see.
Yeah,
open it.
I feel like it's really entertaining to him. Like,
yeah,
all he needs is a bag of popcorn.
And that actor, I love that actor.
He's
I can't get his name right now.
The first time I saw him was in Glorious Bastards, and he was a bastard.
Oh yeah,
I mean, like, just a fucking bastard.
You're right.
Yeah.
The first time I remember seeing him, I think was oh my god, somebody wanted to kill his son or something. I don't remember. It was either, I think he was in Sense8 also.
Yes,
he was in Sense8.
Yes, he was in Sense8.
Yeah, that actor, he plays a jerk pretty well.
Yeah, he does. This one, he's a jerk with morals.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a jerk with morals. Because I think he's an asshole for, like, being however old he is, and he don't know how to drive. I'm sorry. No.
I don't know how to drive either.
No. They're in Germany. We're in New York City. Okay? He's in a small town, and he's like, oh, you're going to drive me? Oh.
That's hilarious.
So I guess I'm gonna ride with you.
It's like, oh, I feel like
we don't count. It's like, because I can't drive either. So, but I'm saying, like,
I think he might know how to drive.
And I find it was a little funny, actually, when remember when Regina had pulled out that box, and what was it, episode 2, with all this stuff that older traveler Jonas left behind. And as soon as, Charlotte saw it, she's like, okay, you're going to have to get a cab.
Yeah. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I got to go pick up my daughter. I got to get out of here.
She's like, get a cab. I thought that was, like, a little insulting, but he didn't even care about it. Like,
he was just like,
gives me more time.
He was like, oh, well, okay. I guess I'll just talk to Regina then.
Oh, speaking of Charlotte and those two, so her father, Noah, back in, like, 1921. So after he had confronted Adam, he tries to shoot Adam, but for some reason he can't operate his gun. That was really mysterious.
The gun
because first you think there's, like, okay, they probably took out the bullets in the gun, or his gun was jammed.
Right.
But then his sister comes, Agnes, and she takes the gun from him and she shoots him and kills him. So I'm like interested about, like, why that gun.
It wasn't supposed to go down that way, because when he pulled the trigger, or before he pulled the trigger, Adam said, "You think you're supposed to kill me? That's what you think." And Adam was just standing there looking at him like, "You think this is what you're supposed to be doing, but it's not gonna go down like that."
That's true. So maybe, I like that. I mean, I like that mystery around it. So then let's see. So in meantime, younger Jonas, he found his way back to 2020, and he actually confronts, like, after the whole
with Claudia. Sorry,
remember? No, I'm talking about younger Noah.
Younger Noah?
Yeah, younger Noah goes to 2020.
Oh, okay. I thought you said younger Jonas.
Oh, I probably did by accident. The names are so, like,
it's a lot.
It seems like the same sometimes to me, because when I was, like, typing my little notes, I kept mixing them up too. I was like, wait, no. But anyway, younger Noah, he makes it to 2020, and he actually pays a visit to traveling Jonas. I'm, like, struggling with him, like, traveling Jonas, and he tells him, like, he hands him a letter that's apparently is from Martha, so I don't know if it's from the cycle, from the future. I don't understand, but he gets upset. He's visibly upset, and then he instructs Noah instructs Jonas to go and save Bartosz, Magnus, and Francesca. And then he even said eventually he would have to save Noah himself and his sister Agnes. It's really crazy. Mm. But anyway, so then I'm going to leave it at that. So then younger Jonas, he comes to 2020 from 87 with Claudia. And Claudia, she goes to basically pick up her daughter. Which obviously shocked the shit out of Regina. I think Regina thought she probably died.
Yeah.
I think she thought the cancer took over her, because here she is seeing her mom looking the same as when she last saw her, because her mom basically she thought that her mom did abandon her, not intentionally, but she did. So so then she takes her to the bunker. So they join Peter and Elizabeth in the bunker. And also Noah comes into the bunker. And everyone's like, who the fuck is this?
Looking all,
and then, he made direct contact.
1921 in his outfit.
And him and Elizabeth make direct contact. And I'm like, ew.
Eye contact?
Yeah.
Because she's like, I would say, she's like 12 now. 12, 13.
And he looks like he's 16.
Like 16, 17.
So it's not, I hope and pray nothing happens in her.
No, I don't think. I think it's when she's older.
Years,
I think it's when she's older.
Yeah.
Listen, Dark, don't fuck with me like that, okay?
I know. We accepted some of the incest, but we don't want anything else.
Nah, because I will protest like a motherfucker. Don't play. I don't tolerate. I tolerate some things, but I don't. You know what? Next conversation. Next.
I know.
Moving on.
Yeah, moving on to that. So then, okay, let me not get to Clausen yet. Let me get to, so back to younger Jonas. He finds Martha at his house or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then they had their little reunion, but Adam, radioactive Adam crashes this reunion. He was like, I just feel like he was so hell-bent. I'm going to the future. I'm going to fuck this up.
Word. Yeah, gloves on and everything.
Yes.
Wow.
He even
dressed to the nines.
He was not playing around.
Ready. He was waiting for this day all his life.
Yeah. I was like, really, Adam? So he, he shoots and kills Martha. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't sad. Anyway,
can we talk about how hyped Martha was to see Jonas though? Yeah. Young Jonas, because she was running from Traveler Jonas. She was like but when she saw Young Jonas, she was like, hey boo, okay, don't act like she was like, oh no, you're my nephew. No, she was like I don't know your face. You're too old for me.
Right.
She was all up on Young Jonas.
Because her mother took the time and explained to her, oh, yeah, speaking of the mother.
She went to the cave.
Her scene wasn't even that way.
She went to the cave just as everything was going down. It was like moving particles were floating and she's found the door. Mm-hmm. Not the door that everybody was talking about that was welded shut going into the
This the door plant, with
but the actual Sigmundus door. She found that door.
Yeah, she found that one.
And the particles were moving towards the door.
Yeah, so it was like the signal, she was following the signal, whatever. Right. That was really all that happened to her in this episode. So during this moment, while she's going to that tunnel, Klaus, so back at the power plant, this is all happening at the same time. Back at the power plant, while they're drilling through that tank for the cement, and they're about to open the radioactive bin. My God, because it makes no fucking sense. Anyway, have we not witnessed Chernobyl?
Literally,
seriously. And so Claudia is begging them. Not Claudia, sorry, Charlotte. I think it's the name.
Charlotte wasn't begging them.
Well, no, she was telling them to stop.
She was
you need to stop this.
Yeah, but when they opened it, something weird happened.
When they open it, yeah. So
she was like, oh shit, here we go.
Yeah, so you see basically the God particle form, take form in front of them as they open it. And as it takes form, it opens into this black hole seeming and then it's on the other side, it's freaking Elizabeth in 2053. And Charlotte is staring at her. I don't think she really recognized her, but until Elizabeth signs to her mother, then she's like, oh my God, Elizabeth, Charlotte. So this time they're like reaching to each other, and then all of a sudden, I guess when they touch it, the freaking God particle kind of like envelopes the whole town. So as this is going on at the same time, before it actually completely like covers the whole town, Jonas on the floor crying over Martha.
Right.
And we see Martha with the good hair coming.
Like, looking like the girl with the dragon tattoo, Martha.
Like she's looking stylish. I was like, who's stylish Martha?
She got a mean Dora bob going on.
Yeah. And she looks like she knows shit. You know, like it's like, okay, I like, and then he's like, Martha, and she was like, no, that's not me. Like, we're running out of time. And then he asked her from what time she's from, and she said, you should be asking what world I'm from. Boom. And then she pulls out this thing, and I kid you not, to anyone who plays Assassin's Creed, it looks like the piece of Eden. Nobody argue with it. It literally looks like the piece of Eden. I was like, what's it doing in there? And it takes them to another world at the exact same moment that world gets destroyed.
So, Traveler Jonas left with Magnus, Francisca, and Bartosz. Before that happened, we have Katerina going through the door.
Yeah. So it's like you have like one Jonas on two different paths.
Right.
It's really crazy.
Yeah.
You have the young Jonas on one, and then the Traveler Jonas.
Right.
Who's doing
they really literally took two different paths. I feel like the fact that she came and took him to the other world is gonna change this cycle.
The pattern.
Yeah.
The loop.
So now I'm gonna like bring up some things that we can discuss. It's stuff that I feel like it can kind of be overlooked. It's like repetitive stuff throughout the series, like symbols and phrases and whatnot. It's fun. The first one I'm gonna talk about is deja vu.
Yeah, that's very prevalent in a lot of the scenes in this.
Yeah.
I had deja vu. I feel my like second deja vu. I'll be like, what the fuck is happening now? Like, what's going on?
I know. It's like, what is this?
I'm like, somebody tell me.
I'm like, I just want to go back to bed.
Okay.
So in the series, there's a few characters. Anytime they had said deja vu, like, oh, nothing, it was just some deja vu. Usually it's either they did time traveling themselves or they experienced, they interacted with a time traveler. But the reason why I want to talk about this, because in this case, in the very first episode of the first season, when the kids, the teenagers, Magnus, Francesca, Jonas, the whole gang, whatever. Not all their names.
Martha, Bartosz, Mikkel, my baby.
Oh, yeah, Mikkel was there. Mikkel. So, yeah, this was right before Mikkel was taken. This is when they went to the woods and they were looking for Eric's stash. Eric was the first kid that was missing. So she was talking, having a conversation with Jonas, and I don't know, it's probably something he did. I think he like put his hand through his hair or something. And then she said, wow, that was weird. It was like some deja vu. And we all know that Martha had never time traveled. Well, actually, I'm sorry, she did time travel, but it wasn't like
anything
that extensive. Yeah. She went to that bus stop and came back. That was like lame. I've been like, no, I need to see some more stuff. This ain't convincing me.
Right? I would have been like, let me see.
Yeah.
Seeing a car. Well, she saw it too. There was like two cars from like the hospital or something that were driving past. Or the cop cars.
Oh, right. Those were so lame. I feel like I would want to see more.
I would have been like, let me see what's on TV.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me see how the TVs are looking.
Let me see if McDonald's tastes different.
Let me see a cell phone. Anybody got cell phone? McDonald's. You say cell phone, they're going to be like, what?
Exactly.
That reminds me when, what's his name, Jonas traveled back, and then
the
he
first
was in the
time,
car with, what's his
Egon.
Face? Egon, and he was like, what is this? And I'm like, Jonas, why are you telling him what it is? He obviously
like
doesn't know what it is.
Messing up the whole...
He's like, oh, these are headphones. You put them in...
But they had headphones back then. That's why he was
like
just
that.
like headphones. And he was like, what?
No, but not like
I
that.
think
like
the
that.
funniest part of that whole interaction was like, oh, is Satanism a thing?
Yo,
Jonas was like,
funny.
what?
Egon with the goddamn Satanism. I'm like, oh my goodness, sir. Stop.
Egon be asking... he asked Jonas a dumbass question, and then he asked what's that bitch name that I don't like?
Hannah.
I
already knew.
He asked, I forgot what he asked Hannah, but it was just like, what the fuck you asking people? Like,
And
why
you
are you
could
asking
tell
random people
I remember
that?
when his own daughter, I saw a witch today.
Oh yeah.
He was so innocent. Like, looking back, I'm like, this man is so innocent and stupid.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you need a hug. Like,
That's why it
was
really
like,
pissed me off when at his very end, like when he was about to die, I want to go back to the caves. I'm like, oh, now you want to go to the caves. Now you want to follow the actual trail.
Yeah. I'm like, wow, this is horrible. Like, he's a good person. I could see it because everything that showed, I'm just like, okay, he's not a bad person, but he was just a horrible cop. Like, he was really horrible. A cop is not what you needed to be, my friend.
And he knows he was horrible because he even asked his own damn daughter, do you think I'm a good cop? I like how she's like, I don't know. Like,
yo, Claudia was a bitch. Claudia's tempo was just like, stop talking.
I think German, if you listen to the actual translation, instead of you like, there's like when you listen to the German, the original German, whatever, and then you have the voiceover, because I listened to the voiceover. They make her sound nicer speaking English. She's a bitch in German.
Really?
Because she'd be like, nonsense. Like, in German. Whereas in, like, when they have English, she's like, Dad, what's going on? Like, you know, it makes it softer. I'm like, no, y'all need to keep that German, make her
German
seem like
realness.
the bitch. I love Claudia, though.
I like Claudia.
Yeah.
I like Claudia, but sometimes she just get on my nerves. I'm like, yo, I don't. But she's definitely one of the smartest out of this whole group.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I still feel like Jonas don't know what the fuck he doing.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
That's why he said, okay, I'm Adam now.
Him doing two different things. I mean, that lets you know he don't really know.
Adam also said that he needed to let go of Martha for him to be able to do what he needed to do.
Right.
So that's why he killed Martha. But I just feel like the Traveler Jonas is going down the Adam path, in my opinion.
Right, because he got the letter from Noah, and who's to say that Martha wrote the fucking letter? Right. Or maybe it could have been a letter about Martha. I don't know. Mm-hmm. But and it could have been orchestrated by Adam. So it's like, okay, Martha's dead. Like, this is what's gonna happen to her regardless. So maybe, you know, in his mind, Martha is dead. She's gone.
I feel like he's still trying to save her though.
Yeah. I don't know what
he's like. In time, I can do whatever I want.
In this small town, Winden, like
Katerina traveled her ass back. Freaking Ulrich traveled his ass back. He was like, "Oh, I'm gonna make them do it back then." And yeah, he trying something.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, but I'm gonna get
Adam is trying to build his own world. So he's not.
And it's like, what world? Like what world are you building? I don't understand. It's
a world without time.
Is basically.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he's trying to do a well time.
Which makes no sense. But anyways. It's like he wants to, what is this, like fucking Lost in Space or some shit? I don't know. But anyway, I'll get to the next one. The Tree of Life. So, the Tree of Life, in the very first episode of the first season, Inez, you see her opening this wooden box to retrieve Michael's suicide letter, and the carving on the wooden box is the Tree of Life symbol. And then we also see in that same season, probably episode 3 or so, on Michael's grave, he has like a more modern version of the Tree of Life on his grave. So what I was thinking, since we're talking about time and this and that, Tree of Life, what it represents is connecting heaven and earth and hell all together in all forms of life throughout the universe. So it's like a connection to everything, to life itself. So it reminded me of, because I love mythology, because I'm a nerd. It reminded me of, from the Norse mythology, which this isn't actually a lot of mythologies, but particularly from the Norse mythology, Yggdrasil. Probably said it wrong, but I think I said it kind of right. Yggdrasil. And it's basically the tree that connects all the 9 realms. And that I thought of that even more when Martha said she came from a different world.
Okay.
And then that also brings me, this is a segue to the next one, wormhole. So you have Tannhaus mentioned the Einstein-Rosen bridge. So the Einstein-Rosen bridge is basically a black hole. That's a bridge through space and time. So this would be like connecting the 9 realms, which if you go back to mythology, which I don't even know if this is exactly from Norse mythology, but this is definitely from Thor. And it's from the movie, and it's the Bifrost Bridge. Right. That's connecting to the 9 realms, yeah.
So just to piggyback on the Tree of Life, that's also, that has biblical connotations too as well. And I just want to touch upon real quick some of the, a lot of these names are biblical names.
Yeah.
And when you find out the history of their biblical names, it has a lot to do with their character.
Right.
Like, for instance, Noah. Noah is the one who God went to and was like, you are going to be the one that is going to repopulate this earth.
Right.
And Noah in this show, I really feel like he feels like he was given this rule by a higher being that he has to follow out this path. And that's how Noah was. Like in the Bible, it was to the point where Noah was like,
he took God's word.
He took God's word as fact, and he was hell bent on making this ark so he can create this a new world that God wanted.
Yeah.
Another name is Inez. Inez / Agnes. That is that's another name for Mary. And remember, Mary was the virgin.
Oh, I didn't know that, actually.
Yeah. Mary had no kids. She had kids, but she didn't give birth to them, similar to Inez. And there's another character who had a kid, but you don't know if she gave birth to the child or not. Let me see if I have my notes.
I feel like that was Agnes.
Yeah, I think it was just Agnes. And then the last name, Hannah. Now, the character Hannah in the Bible, she was childless. So they felt she was of lesser value. So her husband took another wife who eventually got pregnant. And we know that Hannah...
She felt like Ulrich was hers.
Exactly.
For some reason.
Psychotic bitch.
I didn't even get why she felt like that.
At the party when they did the flashback episode, she was giving the crazy eyes. Like, if you don't stop touching my man. I was like, girl, that ain't your man.
That's not your boo.
That's crazy, right?
She crazy.
Okay.
But yeah, I found that interesting because I that's what made me investigate it, because I remember Agnes is another form of the Virgin Mary, and I'm like, oh, a lot of these names are biblical names.
Yeah,
and then you realize who the character is. It makes a whole lot of sense.
And what's weird is that, we still don't know what Noah's real name is, because apparently that's not his real name.
Right.
Because older Bartholds basically said, like, you don't even know why he calls you Noah. So it's like, what?
Why he named you Noah?
Yeah, you just give a name.
He took the name Adam. I'm just
which is like completely opposite of Jonas. It's like, I'm gonna name myself Adam.
And then I found him taking that name interesting, because remember, Adam is the creator of...
Yeah, he's like he's the first
He's
man.
basically the first father of humans.
And I feel like Jonas feels like he is like the catalyst to set all of this up. So I kind of feel that's why he took the name Adam.
Yeah, he has a God complex. He thinks he is.
I want to see where down the road he had this vision, because the Jonas we see, it's like he's not even close to thinking about something like that. So I really am interested to see what was the catalyst in that.
That gotta be Traveler Jonas, because he looks
a little like he's about to snap mentally.
Like, he looked like that the first scene in when he got into the hotel and started putting all that stuff up on the walls.
Yeah.
Like, dude.
He was, what's funny? Every time I think about that, I don't know why I crack up when Noah was explaining everything to Bartosz. And then Noah was like, you see, Jonas, he's in the cave right now thinking he's going to stop it. But what he really is doing is going to start it. Right. And he deserves everything that's going to happen to him. It's like, damn, Noah. He said he don't deserve no better. I was like, what?
Jonas was trying so hard going through those caves. I'm like, look at you. And then I have a question. Why you always see him take a shower, but he always look dirty?
Yeah.
Some people just have that look. I'm not going to name names, but there's some people that, just don't.
Water ain't going to help you. Water alone.
like.
Can I just say that's why you need a washcloth, though? Like,
a washcloth, a scrub,
like
loofah,
you need something when you take in a shower or a bath, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know those things.
No,
this is a PSA, public service announcement. Scrub yourself with soap and water.
Yes.
And clean your legs, okay?
Oh my God.
Scrub your legs. You don't just do the top part and the water is gonna go down. No.
Yeah,
that's I hate this word, but that's the scum from the top part of your body.
Yes.
Just hitting your legs and it's gonna stay there. Okay?
And mixing with the dirt that you did not cleanse off.
That's a nasty. You don't do that. You don't do that, okay?
This has been a Caribbean PSA.
I know that was a Caribbean one. You should have did the whole thing. And I
should have. Next time, the next public service announcement will be said just like that, okay?
That was hilarious. Oh my God.
All right, back to the show. Sorry.
Yes, no, that was needed. That was needed because we encountered some people today that needed that PSA. So anyways,
I already know what the next PSA is going to be, like a piggyback off of this one. The next PSA, I already know. Okay? I'm going to write it down too so I remember. But go ahead.
So the next one I want to talk about is red string. So it was mainly in the first season, really.
Yeah.
You see Jonas using red string basically to help himself navigate through the caves. So when I thought of red string, I was like, why this red string in particular? Like, I just didn't understand. I mean, I guess because the brightness of it, but I feel like it has to have a deeper meaning to it.
You could have used yellow string.
Not sure that, or neon green.
Yeah.
Neon green would have been better. So anyway.
Reflective.
Yeah. So anyway, then I realized too that it's associated with Kabbalah. So I actually looking more to it because I'm not going to lie, I don't know shit about Kabbalah. So, I just know about it just like every other 80s, 90s baby because fucking Madonna was rocking the Kabbalah.
The minute you say Kabbalah, I'm like Madonna.
You think of Madonna when someone says Kabbalah, Madonna. So yeah, I didn't know like the meaning behind it. So what it is it's a symbol of courage, bravery, blood and protection against misfortune brought about by the evil eye. So then I immediately thought of the very first quote of the opening season, of the opening episode, and that is by, hope I say his name right, is by this German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche.
Yeah.
Friedrich Nietzsche. And he says, they didn't even put the whole quote in there. I'm going to read the part they put in. He says, and if you gaze long enough into an abyss, the abyss will gaze back into you. So when I Googled this, it's actually part of, that's not the whole quote. So the whole quote is, whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process, he does not become a monster. So that's the first part of it. And then that's when I thought of Adam. It's like if you in the abyss too long or something, it's like that. I feel like that's the turning point with Jonas, is becoming Adam. Like this whole process. I mean, as soon as he's ever stepped foot into that cave, it led down that rabbit hole.
Now, also, the one thing that stuck out in my mind when I saw the string initially in season 1 was the correlation between Ulrich in the cave and
Mikkel.
Yeah, and the correlation between that and the Greek story of Theseus and the Minotaur.
Oh,
remember, I forgot the woman's name. She gave him a ball of yarn or wool,
so that why can't I remember her name?
So that he can go into the
she did, yeah.
The
because she knew where her brother,
right. So she gave him the ball of string, and they pretty much did the same thing. They used the string as a way for them to be able to know how to get back. That was literally the first thing that came into my mind.
Yeah, you're completely right. I completely forgot about that. Now her name is gonna like bother me.
Yeah, I know. Does it start with an A? I can't.
It starts with an A.
Let me see if I can find it quick. But yeah, that was one of the parallels that I found. There are a lot of parallels. No, there are a lot of parallels in Greek mythology.
Yeah.
It's just been so long that I've and I'm sure towards the last couple of episodes, there's a lot of, especially with the symbolism.
Oh, right.
Because the snake eating its tail is a Greek mythology
that's a Greek
thing too.
Yeah.
It escapes my mind, but there's a lot of Greek mythology. A lot of
mythology, a lot of religion, especially like that big painting that was in Adam's room, if you guys recall. And that's like a famous biblical painting. I think that's like the souls in hell or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a famous one. But yeah,
I think that was.
Oh my goodness! Yeah, I didn't think about the Minotaur at all. That is exactly
That's one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's a cool one. I like that one.
Because a lady helped him out. That's why.
Exactly.
You don't need my help. You don't know how to get out this labyrinth. So here you go. Use this wool. Get yourself out.
I remember when I was reading that, and I was like, "Hey, what were you doing down there?" Crazy. Sorry. Anyway. So the last thing I want to talk about, who I think I think he's the most mysterious character in the show, and to me, he's the most interesting. It's Clausen, the guy we were already like fangirling about. So when we first meet Clausen in the first episode of season 2, he is talking to. First, I wanted to say he was talking to parents in the school, but I think it was the whole town.
Yeah. Yes, it makes me realize how small that town is. It's like
I was like,
literally 200 people,
because they were literally talking in the high school auditorium, and I'm like, he's talking to parents. But then I'm like, why would he just be talking to the parents? This would have to be a town announcement. Exactly. And I was like, oh shit, it is a town announcement. So yes, he's brought in through, I don't know which city. I think he did say what city he came from. Let's just say Berlin. And he says a quote. This is the first thing that comes out of his mind. He says this quote, "He that has eyes to see and ears to hear may convince himself that no mortal can keep a secret. If his lips are silent, he shatters with his fingertips. Betrayal oozes out of him at every pore." Then he says his name. It's so creepy. I would have been like, who the fuck is this? Yeah.
He came to the right town, because he literally opening all the doors like, what y'all got going on over here? What y'all got going on?
I swear, if I was sitting in that thing, whoever sat next to me, I would have turned at them like,
did he just say that?
Like, we're never gonna find ourselves. Right?
Yeah,
that's literally what they said though. They were like, we got how many missing people, and they said one person.
Eric's dad was funny, actually.
I feel so bad for him though.
Yeah,
because he was like, they sent you. They sent you.
Oh no! Because remember, he said our team, and he said, "What team?
What team?
You keep saying we.
You and the girl who can't find nobody, and just you. He was tight. He was tight.
I mean, I don't blame him. I'd be tight too.
My kid is missing. Where is it? There's only 300 people in this town. Now you mean nobody knows where he's at?
I would have felt lost. I'm like Ulrich, who was a cop himself. It's like, y'all losing yourselves. Like, y'all losing cops. Like, how y'all gonna help us? I'm about to leave.
This profession is not for me.
I'm about to leave. Like, y'all disappearing and shit. I'm out.
I ain't the next to go.
Seriously. I mean,
mind you,
and
like,
the power plant,
I go missing, I disappear, and nobody look for me because I said I was leaving. That'd be fucked up.
She said she was going.
Y'all better look for me.
I feel like you'd be a ghost. Look for me.
I can see that.
That's funny. Oh, God. So yeah, he then says this again in the 7th episode when he doesn't arrest Alexander, but he brings him in for questioning. And then he tells Alexander to read this letter that he received. And before he even gives him this letter, I mean, so he brings up a really good fact here. He says that he's basically, ever since he changed his name from Kohler to Clausen, he's basically untraceable. It's hard to find out him because he changed his name and he's not on record, basically. So the fact that he even received a letter about his missing brother, and even though he says his brother has a very common name, when you think about it, his brother is untraceable too, because if there's 700 Alexander Kohlers, you're practically untraceable.
Literally a needle in a haystack.
But he was able to track down.
No, but he tracked it down because of the letter.
True.
It's the letter. He would have never found out about this. So when he makes him read the letter, it's the same quote that I said. And then at the end of that letter, it says, it ends with, answers about your brother can be found in Wyndham. And it says, from a friend. So this made me believe whoever wrote this letter has to be a traveler.
Yeah.
Because is this like, how would they know? Yeah. It's just impossible to me.
Yeah.
But
all of that, it had to have been somebody on Adam's side.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
If not Adam himself.
Yeah.
Because for all of that to go down, they would have needed somebody to go and open the drill, pull out all of that stuff. So
I think he was like the missing, like a little piece to use. Like, okay, this is the only way we're going to get it. But is this funny how it's like, let's bring in Alexander Kohler's brother.
But that's another story that I'm just waiting to see.
I
what
really
want
them to delve into that because I don't know who his brother is.
I think his brother was a part of, like he was with Boris Newell. Ugh, that name is so ugly.
He sounds like he makes borscht.
Yeah, Hannah got some nerve saying, "Oh, that name sounds better for you." Oh, I would have slapped her. I'd be like, bitch, that name was ugly.
Even like the scene when he takes out his credentials, like you remember he's like Boris Newell, and you see his face like, I gotta change it today. I gotta change it today. And Alexander Kohler, sounds much better. Mm-hmm. And that is funny. I didn't because we're not German, but like he said, that's a very extremely common name in Germany, and that's like the perfect name to have if you're on the run.
Yeah.
True.
And then on top of that, and that's the thing too. Then you take your wife's last name, and it's like you're really off the fucking record
at another level of hiding yourself.
Mm-hmm. So that was all the things that I wanted to mention. But also, I want to just theorize. This is one of my main theories is that you notice throughout the series that Noah is this hell-bent on he just fucking hates Claudia. So after we see that Claudia does go into the bunker and she basically lives throughout the apocalypse, and then we know that eventually Elizabeth and Noah has a child, Charlotte. I think the reason why he always wanted to kill Claudia is because she's the one that kidnapped Charlotte and went through time and took Charlotte.
Probably.
I can't.
Or maybe she was blamed
for
it because Traveler Jonas said the same. Like he doesn't like Claudia. He's like, oh, she's not to be trusted. She was the reason for she used everybody, and I'm just like, when did she use?
Well, that's what I think. Like during the future. I mean, she probably has a reason for it because who knows? Because maybe Adam.
That whole it's like you can't trust anybody. If I feel like it's Claudia and Adam on the same level. You cannot trust either of them until you really get what they're saying. I would have been like, I'm gonna go over here. I'm gonna sit down and I'm gonna watch out for a minute.
Exactly.
Especially Adam. This man talking about he's in a war against time. I'm like, motherfucker, what you talking about?
A war against time. You need some chemotherapy.
And he set up shop in 1921. He got a whole freaking mansion underground.
Yeah, like of all the years.
I would have been like, I'm definitely not trusting your ass.
Yeah.
And his time machine
looking like a hobo, a witch.
His time machine looks even more legit than the time machines in the future.
Right.
Like, what I want to know too is like, how did Francesca? She's so feisty and has a personality. Then you have Magnus. I mean, Magnus is a little but I feel like he would question things, and now they're like his most loyal followers.
Francesca is like everybody. What did she say to him? Like,
they're waiting for you.
Like basically, Francesca was like when Magnus was questioning, she was just like, "Shut up."
Yeah,
it's gonna happen. Like I'm like, what did he tell you guys? What did he show you guys for you guys to?
Or what did they go through?
Yeah.
Because
they're like in there. It's what they're 33 years older. 33 years older than their teen selves. So it's like what. And they're still together. I know they're still together, even though they're cousins.
They held hands during the apocalypse.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, but I'm like, they're cousins though.
I think they are cousins. because... Well, actually, oh no, remember? Okay, so I know why you said that, because I did think they were cousins, but now I'm not so sure. Because I believe that Peter's father... Who was it? Who was it that... How did we connect those two?
Who? I don't know what you're talking about.
No, how did we connect Charlotte's kids with your kids again?
With our kids?
Yeah.
Okay,
what was the connection again?
Okay, so we have Agnes and Noah, our brother and sister.
Oh, yeah, duh. That was a simple one. No, I always, you see, the Noah one is still fresh to me. That's why I was like, wait a minute, how did you connect those two again? But also, that was another thing I wanted to bring up too. I didn't put it in here but on my list, but there's actually a few characters in here where we really don't know who their parents are. And it's kept a secret. Like, for example, the biggest one to me, when I was rewatching season 1, Helge, I don't think that's his dad. I don't think he's a, what's his last name? What's
Doppler.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a Doppler. Because when he was missing, his mother was confiding, basically doing confession with Noah, of all people, and telling her, like, she didn't want to have Helge because she doesn't believe that it's her husband's. So... I don't even think Helge. Yeah, so it's like that's a mystery, and it's like, well, who is he related to?
Mm-hmm. And the way she's a cold woman. Like she was really cold towards him. The only time that she really showed affection was when he showed back up, like
that 1 minute, that very 1 minute, and then like she really disgusted me when it's like obviously your child was missing for 3 months, and then you were so pissed that he's not talking. Like, give it some time.
He was missing, and basically freaking lost the whole ear. And you don't know
if... Oh, yeah. The ear is missing. You don't know if he was molested, like, or anything. Right. And then you're like, oh, he was always a little slow before, but I don't know. Like, what a fucking bitch. Like, I hated her.
Back then, they was not thinking about no molestation. They
hello, you see how they were talking to the priest? Like, they were friends? Times have changed.
You took it out my mouth. Yes, times have changed.
No.
I'll be the first one. I'm looking at everybody with the stank eye. Like, what you doing here? Mm-hmm. Don't talk to them.
Oh, God. And then who else has a weird parentage that...
I still want to know who slept with Helge. I want to know where Peter came from, talking about, I came to Winden in 1987. Yeah. Where were you?
This is my theory with that one. Helge obviously came from a lot of money. He's like from the richest family in the town. So I think there was some gold digging woman who had sex with Helge and, had a baby. And, she got her money from that marriage and then bounced. That's what I think.
I don't know. That's weird.
That's what I believe.
That's weird, though. I guess.
I mean, how is that weird, though? There's always gold diggers.
I feel like it's going to be a different story. It's dark, for crying out loud. It has to, but I pray that it's a better story than that.
But I feel like Peter would have... Okay, so Peter is now a psychologist. So I feel like he would have... I don't feel like he would have been afraid to bring something up if something was off from his childhood. Yeah.
What do you mean if something was off?
Like... if anything was peculiar.
Peter's weird himself, okay? Peter has a lot of secrets himself.
He has like one secret that everyone knows. It's like, okay.
It's true. He is slick.
He's got that slick. One secret that everybody knows. Okay. So...
Oh, man. I don't know. But I feel like I really pray that it's more interesting than... some random gold digger come in, because I'll be like, yo, we already got Hannah. Okay,
maybe she's enough. Oh no, it can't be Hannah, because when she goes back into the 50s, she's a kid. That'll be gross. But look at her. Look, Mikkel was younger than her. Oh, yeah. She's a bit of a cougar.
Mikkel was like one year.
He was no 1 year. He was actually like 3 years younger than her.
Oh yeah, but I know why she went with him, because that's Ulrich's son.
Yeah, but any
dirty woman.
Does anyone have any last theories to throw in?
I think Jonas birthed all them bitches.
I feel like it might have been Jonas too.
It could be. I mean, that's why he's Adam.
Yeah, honestly, like
that's why they couldn't let
I feel the same way.
let him take Mikkel back, because it's like, okay, if you take Mikkel back, oh wait, that sounds like I'm saying Nickelback, but if you take him back, then you won't be born. So at least half of them probably won't be born. So that's my theory on it.
Now you have the "Save Me" song in my head.
So we'll see what predictions come true and which ones don't once season 3 comes out. I don't believe they announced when a season 3 is coming.
They could take their time. It'd probably be like 2 years.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah, with this storyline, it might take a little while, but that's fine. It'll definitely be.
And I will
actually, no, it actually may come out next year, because if you realize when it came out this year, it came out on the same date that Michael died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that could, maybe next year.
So we'll see.
Thanks for listening, guys. This has been the Afro Puff Girls podcast. My name is Carolyn.
My name is Fancy Ams.
I'm Jessica.
And we're going to get nicknames.
You've been saying this is the third time.
I know.
My intro is going to be like, it's me, Jessica. Like it, no, I don't like it.
I was going to be like, okay.
I'm going to be Moonchild. I don't know.
Yeah, might as well. Thank you guys for listening.
Moon whore.
And we will see you next week.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.